Dr. Maureen
Brought to you by
Barber-Carey.
Barber Behavioral Health, a service of Barber National Institute.
Yeah, from Barber Behavioral Health and the Barber National Institute. And we're talking autism today, but welcome into First at 4.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm really pleased to be able to be here to talk about autism since April is Autism Month.
Yes, it is. Let's talk a little bit about signs, things you should be watching for as a parent.
As a parent, you should be looking at some of these signs. First of all, I would say delays in communication, delays in social interaction. Perhaps your child has some obsessive interests, and then repetitive behaviors. Those would be the 4 key characteristics. But it's important to recall that a child probably will not have all 4 of those characteristics. They may have 1 or 2, or in fact, they may have all 4.
And what time frame do you start to see some of this?
I think you begin to see this as young as a year and a half. As a child approaches toddler age, I think you begin to see more of those same characteristics. And then, of course, when one turns into the preschool age, then you see, because the child is often in a group setting at that point, you may see some of those issues with social interaction.
And is it true that it is often found in boys as opposed to girls?
Yes, the incidence of autism spectrum disorder is more frequent in boys, perhaps a 3-to-1 ratio.
And everybody wants to know how and why, and we have not really nailed that down yet.
No, we have not. We know that there is a genetic predisposition, and we know that there are some environmental causes. But as to what environmental causes or what the genetic predisposition is, we don't know that.
And it's so important, early detection. What kind of services are out there when this can be detected early?
There is a wealth of services in Erie County for children on the autism spectrum. There is early intervention services for children from birth to 5. In those services, a teacher or speech therapist, a physical therapist, or an OT might come into your home and work on those areas of delay. Of course, when the child turns 3, then there's opportunities for preschool classrooms for children with the autism spectrum, with children having individual education plans, IEPs, to meet some of those delays. And then, of course, there are services at the Barber National Institute. We offer a school for children with autism, and we also have behavioral health services. And we do provide early intervention services for those young children birth to 5.
Yeah, and speaking educationally, there are many services and options available for students who are in school, no matter where they fall on the spectrum as well.
Yes, very definitely. We have a very strong public school system for children on the autism spectrum. So if you're between the ages of 5 and 22, the public schools provide educational programs for children on the autism spectrum, whether they're children who might have what we used to call Asperger's, or children who would have severe autism.
So is Asperger's a term we no longer use?
Asperger's is a term we no longer use. That became one of those terms that was felt that some of the children were being labeled as Asperger's and really should just be under the autism spectrum.
Right.
So autism spectrum means everything from children who would be very, very high functioning, children who would be, Elon Musk says he has autism. So there would be the Elon Musk types, as well as the children with moderate and severe autism.
What about those with severe autism as they become adults? Job placement, I believe the Barber National Institute really works on that, skills and job placement.
That is a very, very important program, because what happens when your child turns 22? If he's not one of those students who can go on to post-secondary education, he needs to have, or she needs to have, a purpose in life, to be independent. And that's where we can provide supported employment services as well as adult day programs for persons on the autism spectrum.
Yeah.
All right.
Great conversation.
We could continue this conversation for so much longer. You're such a wealth of knowledge, and what you've done for the autism community, not just locally, but really around the world, is amazing. It's an amazing thing.
Well, I think we at the Barber National Institute see ourselves as a resource, not only for Erie, Pennsylvania, but for wherever you are. If you have a child or an adult on the autism spectrum, we're here to help you.
Yeah.
Thanks
Awesome to have you here today. Thank you. We'll be right back.